Hello everyone. In this video we again have a very good set which is a good combination of logical reasoning and DI both. This is a set from CAT 2020 slot 2. We can say that this set is moderate. Let's go ahead and try to solve the set. So if you take a quick look on the set, then we can again see that we have a table which is partially filled and we might have to fill the remaining spaces in this table, okay? We have been given some statements over here and then we have been given some additional information that will help us to fill this table, okay? Now this is a set which has 6 questions, okay? So it's not always a case that if you are unable to solve a set completely, then you won't be able to answer all the 6 questions. You can still answer few of the questions, okay? Like 2, 3 or 4 questions from that particular set. So this was one of those where even with some partial information in the table, you can still answer some of the questions. Now, since a lot of data is involved, we have a big table to fill, then we have a lot of clues to consider. So such sets, they check your patience, okay? In fact, the whole point of this LRDI section is to check your patience and hard work. They just want to check which particular student is patient enough to continuously solve a set for somewhere around 10, 11, 12 minutes and get to the answer. Of course, selection of sets matters in the first place, but whatever sets you have chosen, you have to be patient enough with them. Sometimes few sets are very boring in which you just need to solve equation over equation, do some simple calculations and get to the answer, but even that takes you somewhere around 10-11 minutes. So in many of the sets, there's a lot of drudgery involved sometimes. There's boring work to do, but then be patient enough for those 10, 11, 12 minutes and you will definitely get to the answer, okay? So let us quickly read this set and try to figure out what it wants to ask. The question is, in an election, several candidates contested for a constituency. In any constituency, the winning candidate was the one who polled the highest number of votes. The first runner-up was the one who polled the second highest number of votes. The second runner-up was the one who polled the third highest number of votes, and so on. So this is a simple statement which is talking about the winner, the one who is coming as the first runner-up and the second runner-up, depending upon the number of votes. After that, there were no ties in terms of number of votes polled by the candidates, of course, in any of the constituency, okay, in this election. In an electoral system, a security deposit is the sum of money that a candidate is required to pay to the election commission before he or she is permitted to contest, okay? So this is something about the security deposit. Only the defeated candidates, that means one who is not the winning candidate, who failed to secure more than 1/6 of the valid votes polled in the constituency, lose their security deposits. So this is something important. We have been told that the defeated candidate and who is a defeated candidate who failed to secure more than 1/6 of the valid vote polled in the constituency, they lose their security deposits. So for a candidate, if he doesn't want to lose his security deposit, he should score at least one more than 1/6 of the total valid votes, okay? At least one more than 1/6 of the total valid votes. If he secures even equal to 1/6 of the total valid votes or lesser, he will lose, okay? He'll lose his security deposit and will be called a defeated candidate, okay? So only defeated candidates are losing their security amount. After that, the following table provides some incomplete information about votes polled in the 4 constituencies A, B, C, D in this election. So yes, on the first look, we came to know that this is a table which is partially filled. We will have to fill the whole table. So that's what we've been given over here, that the table contains incomplete information about the votes polled in the 4 constituencies A, B, C, D. So we have these constituencies, and then for every constituency, we have been given total number of candidates contesting 10, 12, 5, 8 for A, B, C, D. And then total number of valid votes polled has also been given for A, B, C, not for D, okay? And after that, we have number of votes polled by the winning candidate. Of course, this is given for constituency AB, not for CD. Then we have been given the number of votes polled by the first runner-up and number of votes polled by the second runner-up. At last, in the last row, we have been given percentage of valid votes polled by the third runner-up. So percentage of valid votes, okay? This is the percentage of valid votes. Keep this into account. If we read further, the following additional facts are known. So we've been given some clues as well. Before reading these clues, let us just go to the questions and see what we need to answer. The first question is, what is the percentage of votes polled in total by all the candidates who lost their security deposits while contesting for constituency A? So we are talking about constituency A. We need all those who lost their security deposits. And upon that, we also have to consider the percentage of votes polled in total by all the candidates who lost their security deposit. Lost their security deposits, it was when a person is scoring equal to 1/6 or less than of the total valid votes. This is a TITA question, you have to type the answer. So in such questions, you have to be very accurate, okay? So that means you need to find everything for constituency A. Then how many candidates who contested in constituency B lost their security deposit? Again, for this, we need to find out the data in constituency B, then only we can answer this, okay? Then what best can be concluded about the number of votes polled by the winning candidate in constituency C? So this again requires us to find out data related to constituency C. So basic idea is we need to fill the table and then we can easily answer the questions, okay? Now let us go through these additional facts. First is the first runner-up polled 10,000 more votes than the second runner-up in constituency A. So this is about constituency A. The first runner-up polled 10,000 more votes than the second runner-up. So votes polled by first runner-up have been given 95,000. So this is 10,000 more than votes polled by second runner-up. So second runner-up will have 10,000 lesser votes than the first runner-up. So 95,000 minus 10,000 will give us 85,000. Of course, this was very easy to find out. This was a direct clue. Just after that, we have none of the candidates who contested in constituency C lost their security deposit. So none of the candidates in constituency C, we have 5 candidates in total, right, from the table. So none of them is losing their security deposit. What does that mean? Using this clue, we can say that every candidate in constituency C scored at least one more than 1/6 of the total votes, okay? That's when a particular candidate will not lose his security amount, okay? Security deposit, yeah. After that, the difference in the votes polled by any pair of candidates in this constituency was at least 10,000. So at least 10,000, fine. So we are talking about constituency C and the difference in votes polled by any pair of candidates. So any pair of candidates, okay, keep this in mind, should be at least 10,000. If we look at constituency C, then the total number of votes polled, valid votes over here, it is 6,30,000. While in A and B, we have 5 lakh and 3,25,000. So the number of valid votes polled in constituency C, which is 6,30,000, is a kind of unique number, right? We have 6 lakh, that is fine, but we have this 30 involved as well. So of course that will be for some reason, okay? Because in A and B, we have simple numbers, 5 lakh, 3,25,000. A little bit of hidden information will definitely be there, which is involved with total number of valid votes in constituency C, okay? We'll see that. Now, since in C, none of the candidates is losing their security deposit, so everyone must have got at least one more than 1/6 of the total valid votes. So in C, total valid votes are 6,30,000. We'll divide it by 6, because if a person does not want to lose their security deposit, they should score at least one vote more than 1/6 of the total valid votes. So when we do this, we get 1,05,000, right? This is equal to 1/6 of total valid votes. But even if a candidate is getting equal to 1/6 of the total valid votes, he is losing. So a candidate, if he doesn't want to lose, he should score at least one more than 1/6 of the valid votes. So we'll add 1 to this. That means at least 1,06,000 will be the, so that means a candidate should have at least 1,06,000 votes if he does not want to lose his security deposit. And after that, we were given that the difference in votes polled by any pair of candidates in this constituency was at least 10,000. So that means the candidate above him should have 10,000, at least 10,000 more votes than this person. So one person is getting 1,06,000 votes, another should get 1,10,006, right? Another person should get 10,000 more. So we'll add 10,000 to it, we'll get 1,20,006, right? So far we have taken care of 1 candidate, 2 candidates, 3 candidates in constituency C. In constituency C, we have total 5 candidates. So next candidate would have got 10,000 more votes, right? So we'll add 10,000 again to this. And how many candidates do we have now? 1, 2, 3, 4. We need one more, so he would have got 1,40,006 votes, right? So these can be the possible 5 candidates and their votes polled in constituency C, with a condition involved that they did not lose their security deposit. This is very important to understand. We did nothing. This was a total number of votes polled. To not lose security deposit, he should score at least one more than 1/6 of the total valid votes. We found out that number. It came out as 1,06,000, right? And then between any two pair of candidates in constituency C, we should have a difference of 10,000. We should have a difference of 10,000. That's why I kept increasing these numbers by 10,000. Okay. Now let us also cross check by adding all these votes. Okay, votes of these 5 candidates. Let us assume this is the real number of votes they are getting. So if I add all of them, I should again get a sum of 6,30,000, right? So if I add all of them, we have a 6 in the end, right? So 6, 6, 6, 6, we'll get of course 30, and then we have 0, 0 here. Here I'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this sum also becomes 60. So yes, this is perfectly fine. We get 6,30,000 when we add all these. So definitely these will be the number of votes that candidates in C are getting. Okay. So winner will get the most number of votes. That means 1,40,006, right? So winner, I will write 1,40,006 over here. Okay. Then first runner up, the person who is coming second, he will get 1,30,006. So 1,30,006. Then the second runner up, that means the person coming third, he will get 1,20,006. So 1,20,006. The last row, it is asking percentage of valid votes polled by the third runner up, not the exact number of valid votes polled by the third runner up. So third and fourth runner up, I'll write the votes below this table. Okay, they would have got 1,10,006 and 1,06,000 votes, right? This is the fourth candidate, this is the fifth candidate in constituency C. Okay, I hope this is clear. Let me erase this calculation now. I hope you would have understood. If you want to check this again, you can just reverse the video. Okay, so you must have noticed that again and again we need a lot of patience in such sets. Now after this, the last piece of information that we have is this one. The winning candidate in constituency D polled 5% of valid votes more than that of the first runner up. So winner in D, he got 5% more, right? 5% more. That means we'll add 5% to something. 5% of total valid votes, right? Then the first runner up. Then the votes by first runner up in constituency D. You can denote it in any way you want to. After that, all the candidates who lost their security deposits while contesting for this constituency, that means constituency D, put together polled 35% of the valid votes. So all those who lost their security deposit in constituency D put together polled 35% of the valid vote. That means those people who did not lose, they would have got 65% of the total valid votes, right? I hope this is understood. Now one very interesting thing over here to notice it, if you look at constituency D, and we have been given 10% over here. What is this 10%? It is percentage of valid votes polled by the third runner up. So third runner up could only get 10% of the total valid votes. We can say that total valid votes will be 100%, right? Because if you ever want to say that something is complete, that means it is 100%. So if I take total valid votes as 100%, the person who is the third runner up in constituency D, he is only getting 10% of these total valid votes. But for a person to not lose his security deposit, he should score at least one more than 1/6 of the total valid votes. That means if a person does not want to lose, he should score at least one more than 1/6 of the total valid votes. That means 100%. So that means if a person does not want to lose the security deposit, he should score 1 plus, I can write 100 upon 6 as 16.67%, right? At least one vote more than 16.67%, right, of the valid votes. But the third runner up in D is getting only 10% of the total valid votes. So that means this is a person who is losing his security deposit, right? This is very clear. And in constituency D, we have in total 8 people. The winner is over here, the second runner-up is here, third runner-up is here. That means after these three, the winner, first runner-up and second runner-up, all the persons below these 3 people, they will lose their security deposit. So we have one over here, second over here, third over here, who will not lose their security deposit. Rest 5 people in constituency D, they will lose their security deposit. Okay, I hope this is clear. So one of those 5 people is the third runner-up, and 4 people after him will lose their security deposit in constituency D. Okay, I hope this is very clear to you. This is very important over here. Okay, so let me just write that 5 candidates in constituency D lost their security deposits. One of these 5 is the third runner-up as well. Okay, now we can use the last clue in a better way. Okay, the winning candidate in constituency D polled 5% of valid votes more than that of the first runner-up. Hence we can say that in constituency D, these 3 people, the winner, the first runner-up, the third runner-up, they will in total have 65% of the total valid votes. I hope this is understood, because we were given those who are losing their security deposit, they were scoring 35% of the total valid votes. That means the ones who are not losing, they will score 65% of the total valid votes. And those 3 people who are not losing their security deposit, they are the winner, the first runner-up and the second runner-up. I hope this much is clear. And we can easily find out the votes polled by the winner in constituency D using the last clue. It was winning candidate constituency D polled 5% of valid votes more than that of first runner-up. So first runner-up in D is scoring how many votes? He is scoring 37,500, right? Let me remove this from here and write 37,500. So in this table over here in constituency D for winner, I can write this is nothing but 37,500 plus 5% of the total valid votes. Okay, 5% of, let me write valid votes. So this means that, let me just change the color, this is very important. So this means that if I add this 37,500, this 37,500 and this 30,000, sum of these 3 will make how much percent of the total valid votes? They will make the 60% of the total valid votes. Why? Because the total of these 3, the winner, the first runner-up and second runner-up, this was nothing but 65% of the total valid votes. And if I equate all of these, then this 5% of total valid votes will go on the right hand side, and hence we'll have minus 5%. That means the sum of 37,500 over here, this 37,500 over here and this 30,000 over here, they will make 60% of the total valid votes. This is one very important clue in constituency D. I hope this is understood. Okay, if not, just reverse the video once again and understand this. So if I add these 3, that means this 37,500, this 37,500 and this 30,000, which will give me a total sum of how much? 75 plus 30, 105 and 000, right? This will be nothing but 60% of total valid votes in constituency D. So we know 60% of the total valid votes in constituency D is 105 000. So we can simply use the unitary method over here. 60% is 105 000. So 100% will be how much? Say X. We can cross multiply and then we'll get it equal to 1.75 lakh. Okay, so 1.75 lakh, that means we'll write 175 and then 000. Okay, I hope this is understood. We have the total number of valid votes polled in constituency D as well. This was very important. But now let us have a quick cross check over here if this is correct or not, that we have just put 1,75,000 total valid votes in constituency D. If that is the case, then these 3 people, let me just use another pen. That means this winner, this first runner-up and second runner-up, they should have scored at least one vote more than 1/6 of the total valid votes. So how to say that this is correct? So if I calculate 1/6 of this 1,75,000, 1/6 of that, these votes 30,000, 37,500 and 37,500, this should be more than 1/6 of 1,75,000. Then only we can say that these people will not lose their security deposit and we have done everything correctly. So if you find out 1/6 of 1.75 lakh, then obviously this 30,000 will be more than that, and 37,500 and 37,500 again will be more than that. So yes, we have found out the data correctly, we have cross-checked. So at the moment, using all these clues, this is a maximum we can put into the table. Let us try to answer the questions. The first is, what is the percentage of votes polled in total by all candidates who lost their security deposit while contesting for Constituency A? So we'll go to Constituency A, we'll see total number of votes polled by all those candidates who lost their security deposit. So in Constituency A, total number of votes is 5 lakh, right? And winners, I mean those who are not losing their security deposit, they should get at least one vote more than 1/6 of the total. Okay, so 1/6 of 5 lakh will be somewhere around 80,000 plus. So let us check if this winner has scored. The winner has scored 2.75 lakh. Of course, 2.75 lakh is more than 1/6 of 5 lakh, right? So he did not lose. Okay, he did not lose his security deposit. Then let us check if 95,000 is more than 1/6 of 5 lakh. So of course, yes, it is more than 1/6 of 5 lakh. So even he did not lose his security deposit. Similarly, if we look at the votes polled by the second runner-up, we have 85,000. Is 85,000 less than 1/6 of the total votes polled in Constituency A? No, it is more than 1/6 of the total votes polled. So of course, this is also a person who did not lose his security deposit. So now in A, we have 10 people. Out of those 10, we have 3 people, the winner, the first runner-up, the second runner-up, who are not losing their security deposit. That means 7 people will lose their security deposit. And if we find out the total of votes over here with the runner-up, winner and second runner-up, it is 2,75,000 plus 95,000 plus 85,000, which gives us a sum of 4,55,000, right? 4,55,000. That means remaining votes will be how much? Total is 5 lakhs, so remaining votes will be 45,000, right? These will be the total votes got by those people who lost their security deposit. So this is what we need. In the question, we were asked, what is the percentage of votes polled in total by the candidates who lost their security deposit while contesting for Constituency A? So total 45,000 votes were given to those people who lost their security deposit. So how much percent is 45,000 of 5 lakh? 45,000 is, say, X percent of 5 lakh. So 5 lakh is this. We'll cancel the zeros here and then we'll cancel 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So X will be nothing but 45 by 5. That means 9%. 9 will be the correct answer to this question. This is a TITA question, okay? This was not very tough. You could have answered it even without finding out information for Constituency C and D. This was very easy, okay? Everyone could have done this very easily. Let's solve the second one. Now the second question is, how many candidates who contested in Constituency B lost their security deposit? So we are talking about Constituency B. In total, we have 12 candidates. Total number of votes in Constituency B is 3,25,000. If we look at the winner is scoring 48,750 votes. Let us check if the winner is scoring more than 1/6 of the total votes. So if you find out 1/6 of 3,25,000, it will be somewhere around 54,000, right? So in fact, the winner is also scoring less than 1/6 of the total votes. So that means all the others below him will also score less than 1/6 of the total votes. What does that mean? All will lose, okay? But since it was clearly given to us that over here, only the defeated candidate, that means the one who is not the winning candidate, who fails to secure more than 1/6 of the valid votes polled in the constituency, lose their security deposit. But the winner over here, of course, in B, the winner is getting less than 1/6 of the total votes, but still he's a winner. So winning candidate never loses security deposit. So except the winner in constituency B, all will lose their security deposit. There is only one winner in constituency B. So rest 11 people, they will lose their security deposit. Hence correct answer to the second question will be 11 straight away. This was a very easy question. Okay. In fact, to answer this as well, you do not need to do anything with constituency C and D. This was simple observation. Now the third question is, what best can be concluded about the number of votes polled by the winning candidate in constituency C? So winning candidate constituency C, okay. In constituency C, we know that none of them was losing their security deposit. And the number of votes that we got were 1,40,006 for the winner, then first runner up 1,30,006, then 1,20,006, then 1,10,006, and at last 1,06,000. So the question is asking what best can be concluded about the number of votes polled by the winning candidate. So here we can see that winning candidate has 1,40,006 votes. So we have 1,40,006 as one of the options. Okay. So that is a probable answer. So we can mark 1,40,006 as the answer. Okay. But it is asking what best can be concluded. Let us check with other options. Can 1,40,010 be the number of votes that the winner polls in constituency C? No, because this is the only number of votes with all 5 candidates that sums up to 6,30,000, right? And this condition that the difference between votes polled by any pair of candidates was at least 10,000, this is also being satisfied according to this particular clue. Just in case, if you take this vote with the winner as, say, from one of the options, let's take it as 1,40,010. Okay, so winner will have 1,40,010, right? Then the first runner up will have 1,30,010. Why? Because we have to ensure a difference of 10,000, right, between any two candidates. Then next we'll have 1,20,010, next we'll have 1,10,010, and last one would have 1,10,000, right? Now if you sum up these votes, right, this will be more than 6,30,000. So the only number of votes polled by the winner that satisfies all the conditions, it is 1,40,006. So that means any other number of votes for the winner are not possible. Hence the only possible or only thing that can be best concluded about the winner in C, it will be 1,40,006 votes. I hope this is understood. Next is, what was the number of valid votes polled in constituency D? Constituency total number of valid votes polled, it is 1,75,000 clearly. So option A is the correct answer. Next is, the winning margin of a constituency is defined as the difference of votes polled by the winner and that of the first runner up. Which of the following cannot be the list of constituencies in increasing order of winning margin? So let us find out the difference between the votes polled by the winner and that of the first runner up in all the constituencies A, B, C, D. So A, B, C and D. For A, winner is having 2,75,000 votes and the first runner up is having 95,000 vote. Difference between these two will be 1,80,000. So 1,80,000. Let's talk about B. In B, the winner is getting 48,750 votes and we do not know votes of rest of the candidates. Okay, votes polled by rest of the candidates. So we cannot find out the difference over here in B. But in C, the difference between the votes polled by the winner and the first runner up will be 10,000 because 1,40,006 and 1,30,006 have a difference of 10,000. So in C, the difference is 10,000. Let's talk about D now. So in D, the winner is having 37,500 plus 5% of the total valid votes. So 5% of total valid, that means 5% of 1,75,000. If you calculate 5% of 1,75,000, it comes out as 8,750, right? Plus 37,500 was already there, right? And then the runner up, the first runner up here has 37,500 votes. So we'll minus 37,500. So the difference between the winner and first runner up votes polled by, it is 8,750 in D. Now we can see that we have to find out the answer in increasing order of winning margin. So least margin is in D, then we have it in C, and then the largest winning margin is in over here, okay, for A. So A. So D must have least and A must have the most. And B now, since we do not know the margin about B, so it can be anything. So we are not sure about the position of B over here in this order, but D, C, A will definitely be in this order. D will be minimum and A will be maximum in this order. So D, C, A will be in increasing order. Let us choose those options where D, C, A are in increasing order. So in option A, D, C, A are in increasing order. This is not the answer, okay, because we are looking for cannot be the list of constituencies. So this can be, okay, because D, C, A are in increasing order. Again in option B, D, C, A are in increasing order. This cannot be the answer. And then option C, we again have D, C, A in increasing order. This cannot be the answer. Now D, in option D, D, C, A are not in increasing order. It is C, D, A, which is not possible, okay. So this cannot be the list of constituencies in increasing order of winning margin. First of all, we should have D, C, A and B can be anywhere. So option D will be the correct answer. We were looking for this, which cannot be, okay. I hope this is understood. Even this was easy. Next is for all the constituencies taken together, what was the approximate number of votes polled by all candidates who lost their security deposit expressed as a percentage of the total valid votes from these 4 constituencies? So first of all, we need to find out the total valid votes from all these 4 constituencies. That is very easy. Just add this particular row, okay, the votes in this particular row. 5 lakh plus 3 lakh 25,000, 1 lakh 75,000. So 5, 5, 10 and we have 16 lakh 30. That will be the total, okay. So total valid votes will be 16 lakh 30. 1, 10, 100,000, 10,000, lakh, 10 lakh. This is total. Now we need to find out the approximate number of votes polled by all the candidates who lost their security deposit. So let us find it out for constituency A. Total number of votes of those candidates who lost their security deposit will be 45,000. Why? Because the winning candidate, the first runner-up and the second runner-up, they were getting more than 1/6 of the total valid votes, while all the other candidates, they were getting less than that. Why less than that? Because the total number of valid votes is 5 lakh. If you find out 1/6 of 5 lakh, it will be somewhere around 81 or 82,000. But all the candidates that will lie after the second runner-up, they will of course have less than 80,000 votes, right? Which is around 1/6 of the total valid votes. So that means all these candidates, they will have a sum of 45,000 votes and all of them will lose their security deposit. So for constituency A, it is nothing but 45,000, okay. And then for B, in B, we know that we have this winner, okay, who is getting even less than 1/6 of the total valid votes in B. But then he's the winner, so he will not lose security deposit. That means all others will lose their security deposit and they will have total votes equal to 3,25,000 minus 48,750. So for B, it will be 3,25,000 minus 48,750, right? Then if you talk about C, in C, none of them was losing their security deposit. So that means we'll count 0 for C, okay. And then at last we have D. In D, we were given that there was one clue over here. All the candidates who lost their security deposit while contesting for constituency put together polled 35% of the valid votes. This was about constituency D in the third clue. So that means whatever is the total number of votes in constituency D, we'll find out just 35% of that, because that will be equal to the total votes polled by the number of candidates, polled by the candidates who are losing their security deposits. Simply find out 35% of 1,75,000. So 35% of 1,75,000. Now this is a very calculative question. You have to calculate a few things and then you have to find out what percent of this 16,30,000 is the sum of these 4 quantities, right? A, B, C, D. This is a very calculative question. You should have skipped it because this is a trap. It will consume a lot of time. It will consume some significant time that you can use to solve some other set, okay? So even if you do not find any information for constituency D and C, even then this question had 2 very easy questions. Just in case you find out the data for C and D as well, then you have 5 questions that can be easily solved, okay? So that's how you have to approach a set like this. Whenever a tough set comes, definitely there will be some easy question which will be solvable. I hope the explanation is understood. If you still have any doubt, please comment. Thank you.